Let's go.
It's your back, it dey keep passing. It dey bring out the best in me. I dey feel your recipe. Make you give me that recipe. Fine, fine. Yeah, you fine. You so divine. I dey feel you that.
All right, y'all. It's official. We back. New episode. Awesome entertainment. Man, your boy Joel Awesome here. I gotta tell you, I just finished watching Guardians of the Galaxy 4. And it was Superman. Superman was cool. It was cute. That's how I voted. I think it was cute. This is gonna be a spoiler-free, spoiler-free review, and then I'm gonna do spoilers at the end, so I give you a little heads up. But at first, it's cool, man. It is 1000% Guardians of the Galaxy times Superman. They did the little fusion technique, and that's all it is. It's goofy. It's not as funny as Guardians, though. That's the thing, is there's a lot of jokes. There's a lot of jokes, and it's just not as funny as Guardians. I think that was the most surprising thing to me, because I wasn't laughing, and it's okay, I'm just, it's just me, but like nobody in the theater was really laughing. And even the end credit scene is like a funny thing, but nobody like none of it was really that funny. There was like 2 jokes that I know that I was okay, that was funny. But for the most part, it really wasn't as funny as Guardians. Like Guardians was funnier, but this had more action. So if you want to compare it to Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it has way more action. But it's just not as funny as any of the Guardians, I don't think. There's just so much going on. Anybody who says this is a comic book come to life, they lying to you, bro. This ain't no comic book, man. Like, comic books are crazy, they're wacky, but they explain stuff. Like, everything's is like a spectacle. There's a slow burn to it. This, they just throw shit at you and just keep moving. And I know what the stuff is just because I know, Superman and comic books and stuff, but like, I feel like if you a normal person, you ain't gonna like this. Like, I know my sister who doesn't like fantasy, and when they don't explain stuff, she'd hate this. Like, they don't explain nothing. The story you just don't care. There's zero foreshadowing. So you don't know what's going to happen next, but you're at the same time, you're not anticipating anything that's going to happen next. So it kind of falls flat. There are some emotional parts. I think this is kind of like it's kind of like Daredevil Born Again, where the writing isn't really good, nor does it make any sense, but the actors are good enough to where you're like, okay, you did a good job. Like, as an actor, I understand the emotion of the scene, and I can hear the music and stuff. I can feel it, but it's not like it don't really, you don't care that much. You know what I mean? It is 1000% a CW episode on steroids. That's what it is. If you were a fan of the DC Arrowverse on the CW, you gonna like this, because this is like that on steroids. It's like that on steroids. But those were even those were TV shows, so it's a slow burn. It's like you took that. It's like you made a Superman, the CW show, and then smashed it down into one movie. Like, it should be 22 episodes, but no, you smashed it down into one movie, which I'm not necessarily mad at, but it doesn't excite me. It doesn't make me want. As someone who likes action, who likes dumb shit, I don't even want to see this again. Like, it's not that I don't want to see it again. It's that I'm not going to pay my money to go see it in theaters again. I'll wait till it hits streaming. I might watch it one more time. The fighting was cool, but the Superman, let's talk about Superman, okay? You don't get a lot of Superman. It's a whole bunch of everybody else. There's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. You get a lot of Lois, you get a lot of Jimmy, you get a lot of other characters who honestly, I don't even know who the fuck that girl was, but it's just like, it's for kids, I guess. It's gotta be for kids, because it ain't for kids, though. Like, there was some shit up in there that I'm like, what are we talking about? This is Superman, and we done crossed the line. To me, I don't want to say we crossed the line, but we talking about some mature situations or mature, storylines. It was just kind of all over the place, man. But it's basically Guardians of the Galaxy with Superman. You don't get a lot of Superman. Don't expect to see a lot of him. I don't know why they did. Just do an origin story, because all we came here for is the main character. We don't need 1,000 other characters. It's everything I didn't want it to be. You know what I mean? And it's not even bad. That's the thing. It's like it's everything I didn't want it to be. It's Guardians. It's, they're taking characters like Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and they're using them as, side characters that aren't unimportant, but they're never going to be the main character of anything. It doesn't make me excited to watch the Lantern series. And Green Lantern was okay. So one thing I do like about superhero movies and when they display their powers, I do feel like Superman displayed his powers a little bit, but there's some stuff that we really could have saw. You could have leaned more into that. Lean more into what Superman can do. Let's see that happen. It is a DC Universe movie. It is not a Superman movie. There's not a lot of Superman. He's not really winning most of these fights. Most of the fights don't even really matter. It's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy. I don't want to. Regardless, we get. If you, I appreciate you watching up to this point. I'm getting into spoilers. I got to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, pause, hit, watch later. I am about to go into spoilers. Spoiler alert. Okay. All right. So first and foremost, let's talk about each character individually. Superman, David Cornswell, he was cool, but he's not, Cavill was jacked, bro. That dude had muscle coming out his neck, you know what I mean? Like, Cornswell's cool, but he's not bad. It's not him. It's not the actor. It's the writing. Why is he crying like a little bitch the whole movie? Like, and then he's getting his ass whooped the whole movie, and half the fights are distraction fights. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really matter. They're a little bit goofy. I will say the kaiju, I hated on the kaiju all the way up until I walked into that theater. The kaiju wasn't even bad. It wasn't even the worst part at all. Like, the kaiju actually, for some reason, watching it in theaters didn't look as bad as it did on the trailer. But I will say, Crypto was cool. Too much. There was a couple times where it was good, but you already used him too much earlier in the movie to where this part, it's like, it ain't hitting like it need to. It's like, all right, now we're doing this again. When that was actually a good scene. You should have saved the bullshit you did earlier. But he was cool. Pointless. I mean, like, so much of everything was just pointless and just led to nothing. Hot Girl, she was okay. She looked terrible when they were like doing the camera scene from up above. Why did they do that? Stop. And they kept doing it. That was the worst thing about her. She looked like a freaking psychopath. It just did not work. And Hawk Girl and Hawkman actually have a actually cool origin story with Vandal Savage. But regardless, they wasted that character completely. Guy Gardner wasted completely. I get that he's a Green Lantern, but we didn't. When I'm talking about display of powers, we got to see Superman powers displayed a little bit. I don't think he used the laser vision. Am I tripping? I'm trying to remember when I think he used it maybe one time. I think he used his laser vision maybe one time. He used the ice breath a bunch of times. That's cool. He was weaker than obviously any Superman ever. I don't hate that. Because that gives him room to grow. That gives him room to power up. I do feel like people hate on Thor and like Hulk because they're depowered in Marvel. I actually don't hate that. I think it kind of grounds the character. Like, let's get a little bit more realistic perspective. I think that kind of worked a little bit with Superman, but they kind of went a little bit too far to where he's just getting his ass whooped. And it's like, are you invincible? Like, he's not really invincible at all. He's definitely invincible. Right? You know what I mean? Like, this dude was getting smacked around. So they did a good job displaying his powers. They just didn't take it as far as they should have. And the way they could have did it is just focus on him. You could have had the hearing. He didn't use super hearing at all. He didn't freeze anything with his ice breath. He just backed up. His super speed he was fast, but the Ultraman and the engineer were able to keep up with him for the most part. Let's talk about Ultraman being a fucking clone. I'm guessing he's gonna be Bizarro later. I'm not gonna be watching that shit, bro. Like, I'm not gonna be watching this shit if it's gonna be coming from this goofy ass universe. It's just not. I'm not gonna be spending my money in theaters to watch it. But I'll watch it when it hits streaming. It's basically CW shit. So why would I pay money to go to theaters to watch that? I watched this one. I don't know. I was excited about Supergirl. She's a character that I actually like, and when I seen her on there, I was out. Y'all doing too much. It's not just the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy universe. As soon as I seen Supergirl, I was like, oh, that's what they doing with it? It's just gonna be Guardians in the whole universe. And I'm like, y'all, I don't even want to see what y'all doing with Batman. Don't touch Batman. But let me go back in. Anyway. So Supergirl's kind of wasted. Superman, we didn't get enough of. He's getting his ass whooped. He's crying like a bitch. The stoic, heroic Superman classic, hell yeah, I know that Superman moments in the movie are there. They're like a balloon with a little bit of air in it, but they're not fully inflated because the storyline and the emotion of the plot is just not there. So regardless, it's just dumb fun. I think kids will like it. I think if I was like 10, I probably would have loved this movie. I don't know, but I think if I was 10, I would love this movie. There's no build up. I'm not excited about what's happening in the future. I feel like, once again, we're just wasting characters. This should have been a slow burn. Lex did okay. He was good, but he's not the best Lex, man. I don't give a damn. Y'all was downvoting my last short. I don't care. Smallville, Michael Rosenbaum is still the best Lex. He was calculated and he was in control. And this Lex was in control, but his emotions weren't in control. We didn't get the display of his genius. It was like, oh, he knows it and he set it up. But like, we didn't actually see him figure shit out or like calculate anything or do anything genius or any. And I don't know. He was like a step above the what's his name? Jesse Palmer, Lex Luthor. Like, he's just a step above. He was good, but they didn't give him anything to work with. They didn't give him anything to work with. He did, snap off on the reporter, throw the pen at her. I like that. That's cool. You know what I mean? He did kill that dude. I don't know why. I ain't gonna touch that moment, but I'll let y'all see that. But, like, man, it had its moments. But overall, it was a 6.5. It was a 6.5 out of 10. I gave Captain America a 6.8. This had a little bit more action, but the storyline, nobody, the storyline didn't do anything. You know what I mean? At least Harrison Ford was in Captain America. You know what I mean? Like, he was great, but there was no performance that was great in this movie. You know what I mean? And I don't think they could be great because of what they had to work with. It's just too much. It's too many characters. It should have just been about Superman saving the day. And that was kind of one of my overall issues, is that he didn't save the day. He did save some people, but the whole movie and plot storyline was to just fuck him up anyway. So it was not like he saved anybody or helped anybody. They just try to undo some mess that Lex created, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know why they thought that was the way to go. If you're going to do a whole universe, I guess he was just worried they're going to cancel his universe before he can get it started. So he skipped, like, that should have been like 3 movies in one, bro. Like, that definitely should have been like 3 different movies in one. They could have just stuck with the engineer as the villain. Ultraman was completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. Crypto could have been, Crypto's time should have been given to Superman. You know what I mean? All the other villains' time should have just been given to the engineer. That would have been a great place to start. You know what I mean? Introduce Kryptonite later in the thing, but nah, that wasn't solid. It was okay. It was okay. It was entertaining. You will be entertained all the way through. Just the jokes didn't land. The action was average to above average. It was, good ideas, but some of them didn't execute it as well. But it was a cool movie. I'll probably watch it again in like 6 years when it hits after streaming or something. Maybe I'll watch it one more time and then 6 years. Either way, please like my video, share, subscribe, get you a Trust Method shirt. Scan the QR code. I'm out.
Don't play with my patience, man, they gone with the flow when they tryna fake it. That's not the way I roll, that's not the combination. You start off with the dough before you start the conversation. No one start the salutations, man, don't play with me. I'm coming from a place they would hate to be. I'm going through a phase you would hate to see. They say this life's a trip, ain't no telling where it's taking me. When you on the edge and you make your next move, better be your best. Before you throw it to the depths, better reinvest. Man, I count every moment and count every step, so I know I'm blessed. Now it's